Americans have always flaunted that little blue passport like a golden ticket. No visa, no hassle, just instant access. But that era, it's over. Countries that once welcomed US travelers with open arms are now slamming the door shut. And not just any countries. We're talking about longtime allies, tropical getaways, and economic partners. Places you thought would always be a plane ride away are now saying, not so fast, Yankee. Why? Some are retaliating against US immigration policies, others are sick of entitled tourists, and a few just want to remind America that it's not the only big player on the map. This isn't fear-mongering, it's real and it's happening fast. Visa requirements are popping up like weeds, and in some cases, they're damn hard to get. So, if you're an American who loves to travel, you need to listen because this list might piss you off, it might scare you, but above all, it'll wake you up. So do yourself a favor, smash that subscribe button right now, because what's coming next could wreck your travel plans. Let's count down the 10 countries where Americans just lost their free pass. And trust me, number 3 is going to sting. You know what pisses me off? The entitlement, that dumbass American arrogance where people think flashing a blue passport gives them a golden key to every country on earth. For years, Americans treated Brazil like their sun-soaked playground. Carnival, Copacabana, caipirinhas, and zero accountability. No visa, no problem. Just hop on a plane and let the samba begin. But guess what? That ride's over. Brazil just said, nah, not anymore, and slammed the door right in our goddamn faces. As of April 2025, Americans now need a visa to enter Brazil again, and it's not because they hate us, it's because we've been dicks. This whole thing is called reciprocity. If we make Brazilians get a visa to enter the US, then guess what? We get the same treatment. Fair? Absolutely. But let's not pretend that's the only reason. Brazil's been watching as American tourists flood in, trash the beaches, ignore the culture, butcher the language, and act like they own the place. There's been growing public resentment. Locals saying, why the hell are we rolling out the red carpet for people who treat us like a travel brochure? They had enough. So now you want that beach trip? You better cough up $80.90, show your hotel booking, proof of income, your whole damn itinerary, and sometimes even sit for an interview. And honestly, I love it. You know why? Because it's a wake-up call. Remember Tyler, some Arizona bro who planned a whole 3-month trip through South America, showed up in Sao Paulo last month without a visa because he didn't know the rules changed. Homeland Security style rejection got his ass turned around at immigration and had to book a $1,200.00 return flight same day. Boo fucking who, Tyler. Maybe read the news next time. This isn't just about Brazil, this is a global shift. A lot of countries are done with our bullshit, done with us acting like we're the main character everywhere we go. So yeah, America's passport used to be a golden ticket. Now, not so much. The world's growing a spine and we're getting checked hard. Smash the like button if you agree, drop a comment if you think Brazil is right, and stay glued to the screen because the next country on this list, it used to roll out the red carpet, now they're rolling up the welcome mat and setting it on fire. Let's go. Let me be blunt, you fucked it up. Argentina used to roll out the red carpet for Americans, no visa, no drama, just fly in, stuff your face with steak, dance the tango in Buenos Aires, hike the Andes, take your Instagram pics in Patagonia and bounce. It was paradise on a budget. But guess what? That ride is starting in 2025, you now need a visa to enter Argentina. No more, I'm an American, let me in. Nope, you're filling out paperwork now, you're showing proof of income, hotel bookings, maybe even attending an interview. Sound familiar? That's what Argentinians have had to deal with just to visit the US for years, and now they're done pretending it's fair. You want to know what triggered this? Sure, they'll say national security, but come on. That's a smoke screen. This is about respect, and Americans haven't been giving any. You came in hot with your dollars, bought up cheap property, gawked at slums for travel content, treated their cities like a Tinder hunting ground, and laughed off their inflation like it was a vacation perk. Local folks watched it all, they spoke out, and their leaders finally listened. Let me give you a little story. Zach, a 28-year-old from Denver, moved to Argentina last year to live cheap and vibe. He partied, posted, and paid locals peanuts to clean his Airbnb. But when the visa news dropped, this dude lost it. Why do we need a visa? That's not fair, he cried. Oh, poor baby. You mad you finally have to follow the damn rules? And here's the kicker. This isn't just about Argentina. This is the second country on our list slamming the door in America's face after Brazil. See a pattern? Countries are done being your vacation doormat. They want respect, reciprocity, and sovereignty. You think America's global image is still spotless? Think again. Foreign policy, cultural arrogance, and decades of entitlement are finally coming back to bite. So yeah, if you're tired of sugar-coated travel fluff and want the raw fucking truth, and drop a comment if you've ever felt like American tourists crossed the line, because this conversation isn't over. Coming up next, a country that didn't just ask Americans to get a visa, they made it nearly impossible to get. Stick around, you need to hear this. Let me just say this real clear, Turkey ain't playing nice anymore, and honestly, why the hell should they? You remember when Americans could just waltz into Turkey with a simple e-visa like it was some damn Turkish delight buffet? Yeah, those days are toast. In 2024, they flipped the switch. New visa regime, extended wait times, more background checks, insurance requirements, and get this, some folks are being outright denied. Why? Because Turkey's tired of the West's bullshit. Simple as that. Erdogan's been throwing shade at the US for years, and now he's using that visa policy like a middle finger to Washington. This isn't about security like the officials love to say, it's political. It's power. It's Turkey saying, we're not your goddamn tourist playground anymore. Let me paint you a picture. Kevin, 36, from New Jersey, software developer. He spent 5 years dreaming of walking through the Grand Bazaar, eating legit kebabs and getting lost in Cappadocia's hot air balloons. Booked everything, flights, hotels, tours. He even learned a few Turkish phrases to be respectful, and boom, visa denied. No explanation, just application under review indefinitely. That's your welcome now. Meanwhile, Turkey citizens trying to visit the US, they gotta sell their soul for a damn visa appointment, high rejection rates, interrogations like they're smuggling plutonium. You think Turkey wasn't gonna clap back eventually? Look, tourism is bouncing back in Turkey. But don't get it twisted, they're not begging for Americans. This is about pride, sovereignty, control. And while the US flexes global muscle, countries like Turkey are done taking that crap lying down. So yeah, you might still get in for now, but don't get comfortable. These rules can shift faster than a rug merchant's price tag in Istanbul, and when they slam that door shut again, you'll know it wasn't just about visas, it was a message. Next up, it gets even messier. You think Turkey was bold? Wait till you see what number 7 just did. Hold up. Thailand, the place that practically built its entire economy off Western tourism, just slammed the door in your face. Yeah, you heard me right. The land of smiles? Not so much anymore. In 2024, Thailand dropped a bombshell. New visa rules for US travelers. You know, the place where you could just rock up, get your 30-day visa-free entry, and keep renewing that bad boy with a few quick visa runs. Thousands of you, yes you, have been living the dream, working tax-free while sipping cocktails on a beach in Phuket. But Thailand, they've had enough of your bullshit. The new rules? You now need to apply for a tourist visa before you go. Show proof of onward travel, provide financial statements, and in some cases, hand over your biometric data. Hell, they even set up a special task force to hunt down the abusers. So why the change? On the surface, they claim it's to stop long-term tourists from exploiting the system and to crack down on illegal work and overstays. And you know what? They're right. For years, people were gaming the system, especially Americans, turning Thailand into a playground for digital nomads and backpackers. But let's talk about the real reason, the elephant in the room, entitlement. Look, it wasn't just Americans doing this, but damn, they were the loudest, the most visible, the most obnoxious. And after years of ignoring the local culture and abusing the system, Thailand said, enough is enough. I know you might be pissed off hearing this, but let's be real. This isn't just a better policy for Thailand. It's a shot across the bow. A wake-up call to all the entitled travelers who thought they could waltz in, live for cheap, and leave without a second thought. Tourism boards are trying to spin this as responsible travel. But the truth? The Thai people are getting tired of feeling like the world's ATM. And listen, this isn't just about a visa change. It's the end of an era. The casual, unchecked privilege of American tourists in Southeast Asia. Stick around, you're gonna wanna hear how this whole mess unfolds. Alright, buckle up because here's one that's been quietly creeping under the radar. South Africa, yes, the country you've dreamt of safari adventures, stunning coastlines, and vibrant culture, has just slammed a new visa requirement for American tourists. Hold on, don't panic. I know you're thinking, wait, isn't South Africa like always open for business? Not anymore. Starting in 2024, South Africa introduced a visa requirement for US travelers, and by 2025, it was fully enforced. The reason? Well, they claim it's for security enhancements and passport parity. Sounds like a good excuse, right? But dig deeper and you'll find something much juicier. This is South Africa throwing a diplomatic punch right at the US. For years, South Africa played the nice guy, keeping its borders open to Americans as a goodwill gesture. But honestly, this wasn't a random policy shift. South Africa has been dealing with some serious tension with the US over trade, climate policy, and international diplomacy. Let's be real here. This isn't about safety. It's about sending a clear message. America, you're not the special guest anymore. But let's talk about what this means for you. In 2025, the US is now on the hook for a full-blown visa application process. That means background checks, biometric data, travel documentation, and get this, even financial disclosures. Yeah, you read that right. They want to know if you can actually afford to visit. Now, I can already hear you complaining, wait, why is this happening? Well, this move is South Africa's way of flexing its muscles. They've had it with the power imbalance between the US and the rest of the world, and this is their way of calling out the US and saying, we're on the same level now. But here's the kicker. This policy has consequences. For one, American tourists are gonna feel the sting of these new requirements. And let me tell you, it's not just a little inconvenience. It's a full-on disruption to your travel plans. But the real question is this even about tourists? Or is it about the US not getting a free pass anymore? I don't know about you, but it sure feels like the latter. Let's talk numbers too. South Africa's tourism economy has been hit hard over the last decade, and the last thing they need is to make it harder for Americans to come through. But they're doing it anyway because control. This is about pushing back against the narrative of American entitlement. And hey, you know what? Maybe it's time to shake things up. So what does this mean for you and your next trip? How are you feeling about all this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because this is only the beginning. The world's shifting, and if you're not paying attention, it'll slap you right in the face. Stick around. There's more to this than just a visa change. And trust me, you don't want to miss what happens next. You ever had one of those places you just knew you'd end up? You dreamt of it for years. Bali. The perfect sunset, the beach parties, the perfect place for the Instagram influencer life. Remember those vibes? The digital nomads flying into the paradise that was Bali, living the dream, untouchable, no strings attached. But that dream, yeah, it's shattered now. In 2024, Indonesia decided it was done with the free-for-all. The Tourism Fairness Act was passed, and with it came a reality check. Americans who once sauntered into the country with nothing more than a backpack and a bright smile now have to beg for entry. No more breezing through with a 30-day free entry, no more flying in, staying for months, doing visa runs like it's a game. They've had enough. This is the point where the fantasy begins to crumble. The golden age of backpacker privileges, gone. Why? Simple. Tourist misuse. That's their nice way of saying you overstepped, took the system for granted, and now the bills come due. It starts slow. You wake up one morning to the news. Your heart drops. That vacation, the one you've been dreaming of, the one you've been planning for years, gone. In an instant. It hits you. The cold, harsh reality. Indonesia is forcing Americans to apply for a visa 30 days in advance, show proof of accommodation, financial stability, and even undergo a character assessment. And wait, online behavior could deny you entry? Yeah, you read that right. One snarky tweet or influencer tantrum, goodbye Bali. From our stats, we've got more viewers outpacing subscribers. If you're enjoying this content and want to join our community, hit that subscribe button. It means a lot. Thank you. All right, let's dive back in. The stakes hit home harder when you hear about some of the locals who watched you waltz in and out of their home country without even a second thought. It's like a punch to the gut, isn't it? So confident, so comfortable, have been slapped with a cold, harsh reality. But here's where it gets real. This isn't just about some new visa rules, it's a wake-up call. A country told the West, no more special treatment. They drew a line in the sand. And you, my friend, you got caught on the wrong side. And here's the gut punch moment. As you sit there looking at your laptop screen, knowing you can't go back to Bali anymore, it sinks in. The dream, the party, the paradise, over. But don't go anywhere. Keep watching because I promise this isn't over yet. I'll reveal why this isn't just Indonesia's loss, but yours too. The worst part, Indonesia's not the only one tightening the noose. And if you think this was the last country to slap your plans, wait till you see what's next. But we'll get to that later. The final blow, a country you thought was a sure thing has shut you out. And now it feels personal. You'll never look at those Bali beaches the same way again. All right, buckle up. Let me give it to you straight. No sugarcoating, no bullshit. Morocco, a place that used to be a dream destination for Americans. You could stroll into Marrakesh, sip mint tea, soak in the culture, and leave with a million Instagram photos. But what does Morocco do now? They slam the fucking door in your face. Why? Because we, yes we, Americans, have ruined it. In 2025, they passed the National Sovereignty and Border Regulation Act. And guess what? US citizens can no longer waltz in with a smile and a credit card. Oh no. Now you need a visa. You need to jump through hoops. You need to prove you're worth their time. And why? You want to know the truth? Because we have been taking the piss for far too long. Digital nomads flooding in, staying for months, living for free, living tax-free while the locals struggle to make a decent living. Hell yeah, they're pissed. We walk in, act like we own the place, drink their coffee, take their pictures, and then walk away like we did them a favor. Newsflash, Morocco didn't ask for this shit. And don't even get me started on the US government. The whole we don't share intelligence with them thing. Yeah, because we're too busy ignoring the rest of the world's problems. Typical. So now, Morocco is tightening up, and good for them. They're sick of our entitled asses, and frankly, it's about damn time. The free ride is over. It's about damn time someone put us in check. And here's the kicker. This is just the start. Morocco isn't the only one throwing down the gauntlet. So if you think you can just breeze through any country, think again. The world is sick of Americans walking around like they own the place. So yeah, if you're feeling salty about this, I get it. It's time for a reality check. The world is changing. So are you gonna sit there and get pissed off? Or are you gonna wake the fuck up and realize this is just the tip of the iceberg? Don't say I didn't warn you. And make sure you comment below because I want to hear your thoughts on this. Let's talk about Malaysia, and let me be real with you for a second. This shit is personal. For years, we've been living in this bubble, assuming that the world's gonna just let us roll in like we own the place. Well, guess what? Malaysia just popped that bubble. In 2025, they said, screw you Americans, no more free passes. Now you've got to ask yourself, what the hell did we expect? We've been treating countries like playgrounds for the entitled, using our passports like golden tickets, strolling in, not giving a damn about the people who actually live there. Then we act surprised when someone finally says, enough. Here's the truth, Malaysia's done playing the game, and good for them. The new visa rules, they're not fucking around. You're gonna have to prove yourself, show you've got money in the bank, a return ticket, and even get grilled in an interview if you're planning on sticking around longer. You can't just show up and expect to be treated like royalty anymore. You know why they did this? It's about respect. It's about dignity. For years, Malaysians have had to jump through hoops to get into the US even when they had everything lined up. It's bullshit. And we all know it. The moment the US decides to treat someone like crap, that country has every right to turn the tables. And that's exactly what Malaysia did. They showed us what it feels like to be on the other side of the fence. Now here's the thing, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. There's a lot of Americans out there who will bitch and moan about how unfair this is, but let's get one thing straight. This is karma, motherfucker. It's about time we got a dose of our own medicine. We've taken advantage of these countries for too damn long. Now, we're the ones left out in the cold. And honestly, we deserve it. Think about it. Every time we push and push, expecting countries to roll over for us, we forget something. We're not the center of the universe. The world doesn't owe us a thing. Malaysia took a stand, and it's about damn time someone did. But here's the thing, this could happen anywhere. The days of us waltzing in without a care in the world are over. The power dynamics are shifting, and if you're not paying attention, you're gonna get left behind. So yeah, Malaysia just dropped a bomb on us, and you know what? I hope more countries follow suit, because maybe, just maybe, this will be the wake-up call we need to stop acting like the world revolves around us. Now, let's talk about this. Drop your thoughts below. Let's see who's on the side of respect and who's still out here acting like the world owes them something. And trust me, if you thought this was wild, you're not ready for what's next. Stick around because this shit's just getting started. All right, let's dive into something that's gonna make you sit up straight, grab a drink, and say, wait, what? Kenya? Yes, Kenya just dropped a bombshell. Americans no longer get that sweet visa-free entry. Oh, you heard that right. No more waltzing in and out like you own the place. In early 2025, Kenya decided enough was enough and pulled the rug out from under us. Why? Because in their words, they're tired of the unequal treatment. It's not just about Kenya either. This is part of a bigger strategy from the African Union to demand reciprocity from Western nations. Kenya's foreign ministry didn't sugarcoat it either, saying, it's time Americans experience what our citizens go through when trying to visit the US. Now, Americans are stuck applying for an e-visa, and the process is no walk in the park. Background checks, travel itineraries, purpose documentation. Oh, and the cherry on top, tourist visas are capped at 30 days with no chance of extending. And if you mess up, it's not just a slap on the wrist, you're automatically blacklisted. Here's a story to sink in. Josh, an American, had planned his dream trip to Kenya. He had always fantasized about exploring the safaris, meeting the Maasai people, and experiencing the rich culture. But when he tried to get his visa, he found himself in a heap of paperwork, endless waiting, and red tape. His dream was almost shattered because of these new rules. And guess what? Josh isn't the only one. More and more Americans are now going through this, and it's a wake-up call. So here's the real kicker. This isn't just about Kenya. If countries start demanding the same kind of treatment, we might find ourselves on the receiving end of these restrictions more often. Now, let me hear it from you. What do you think? Is Kenya right to take this stand, or are we just getting a taste of our own medicine? Drop a comment below and let me know your thoughts. Let's get one thing straight. The UAE just handed the US passport a reality check, and it's long overdue. I know you're probably sitting there all comfy thinking, but I've got an American passport. That means I'm welcome everywhere, right? Well, guess what? The UAE just slapped that sense of entitlement right out of your face. In 2025, Americans can no longer just stroll into Dubai or Abu Dhabi like they own the place. And no, it's not a joke. Why? Because the UAE is sick of the United States treating the world like its personal playground. The truth is, for years we've been strutting around expecting the red carpet to be rolled out while we've done jack shit to show any kind of respect or reciprocity. So what did the UAE do? They dropped the hammer and said, you don't make things easy for us, we're not making it easy for you. Simple as that. But wait, it gets worse. You think this is just about tourism? Hell no. The UAE isn't playing these games anymore. They're flexing their power. They're saying, we don't need you, America. We're done with your bullshit. The petrodollar era, fading fast. And the UAE, they know they're sitting pretty. They've got oil, they've got wealth, and they're not gonna beg for American tourists. Now all of a sudden, you have to jump through hoops just to get in. Pre-approved visas? Weeks of waiting. Business travelers are pissed, tourists are confused, and let's be real, diplomats are embarrassed. It's a power move, people, and it's working. The world is changing. Americans are no longer kings of the world, and the passport that once gave us access everywhere is now just another piece of paper. Let that sink in. Are you angry yet? You should be, but guess what? That anger needs to be directed at our own damn government that's allowed this sense of entitlement to fester for so long. The truth is, we've been demanding respect without giving any back. So here's your wake-up call. The American passport is no longer a golden ticket. And if you think this is just about one country, think again. The world is waking up. It's not all about us anymore, and the UAE just made sure we felt it. Now, if this hit you in the gut, smash that like button. If you think America needs to stop acting like the world owes us everything, share this with someone who needs to hear it. And if you're bold enough to face the reality check that's coming for all of us, subscribe. We're not done. The world's changing, and we've got a front row seat. Comment below, what do you think? Is the UAE right to take a stand, or are they just pulling a power move? Let's hear it, and trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.